Hi, today we're going to be learning how to use quotation marks in text. So let's begin. First of all, what are quotation marks? Quotation marks are symbols used to represent when somebody is speaking in literature and in your own writing. So we have quotation marks here. This is our beginning quotation mark, and then this is our end quotation mark. These are used in pairs, which I will explain a little bit more in a minute, but once you have one at the beginning, you need to have one at the end as well. And these represent when somebody is talking. So how do I use them? You will use quotation marks anytime someone is speaking and you're writing. They look like this, as I just showed y'all, and they must be used in pairs. And so what I mean by that is if you have a beginning quotation mark, you also need to have an ending quotation mark, so those two are a pair together. So you must have both while you're writing. They show when the person begins talking and when they finish talking. So this first one shows when they are beginning to talk, and the second one shows when they are finished talking. And make sure to include who is saying what. So you can't just have quotation marks without having it say, like, Heather said this. Like, you must have a dialogue tag, which I will explain in a second. So how to know when someone is speaking. Dialogue tags are a line of dialogue that show who is speaking. We use commas to go with this. If the dialogue tag is before the quotation, use the comma before. If the tag is after, you use it after if there is no punctuation used. So let me show you some examples. So the dialogue tag would be, I told my mother. This is our dialogue tag. You are saying you know who is speaking and who they're talking to. So I am talking to my mother. That's the dialogue tag. So I have my comma here because it is before my quotation. And then I have my beginning of my quotation with my beginning quotation mark, so I know this is what I'm saying aloud. I am saying, I love spending time with you. End of quotation, I am done talking out loud. Another example is, the girl said. Again, this is our dialogue tag. The girl said out loud, this is her speaking out loud because we have our quotation, I want to play too. And then we have our end of quotation, so she's done speaking out loud. Something that you should be noticing is that we are using punctuation within our quotation marks. And we're doing that because these are full sentences and that is all that they're saying. So that is why we're using punctuation within it and not after. So we have another example. Go away. See how we don't have a dialogue tag before. So I have a comma here because I also didn't use punctuation. So I have a comma. Then we have dialogue tag as her face droop, comma, because we have our dialogue tag. Saying out loud again, I don't want to talk anymore. So we had a little break in between these two quotes. So go away, and as she is speaking, her face was dropping. Her face drooped. And then she continued, I don't want to talk anymore. So her face was drooping as she was speaking. And then our next one, he questioned, comma, because this is our dialogue tag, quotation, what do you mean? End of quotation. So what they are saying out loud, what he is saying out loud is, what do you mean? The next one, this is an example if the quotation does not have punctuation within it. So they say, we know that they're speaking out loud because we have our quotation mark, you are the best, comma, because there's no dialogue tag before. End of quotation, said my sister, period. And we use punctuation here at the end because this is the beginning of our sentence and there's no punctuation within it or punctuation mark within it. So we need it at the end here. Next, what do you do when two people are speaking? How do you decipher when two people are speaking? How do you know who is speaking and saying what? Because in pretty much every text, there is conversation between two people and between two characters. So whenever you change speakers, you need to start a new paragraph. So for an example, we have the girl said, here is our dialogue tag, hi, my name is Mary, what is your name? So this is what she is saying aloud, and then we go to a new paragraph because somebody new is speaking, and they say, my name is Owen, said the boy. And then we have our period here because it wasn't included. Or we have the period here because this is a full sentence, said the boy. If it just said, my name is Owen, we wouldn't need a period outside of the quotation mark since there's one within. But since it says, said the boy, there needs to be a period outside as well. And then he's done speaking, so now we have Mary's talking again. She says, "It's so nice to meet you," exclaimed Mary. So notice how each time that they speak, it is a new paragraph, it is on a new line. And this is what you need to do so you could differentiate who is speaking and you don't get it mixed up and confused. So I hope you all learned what quotation marks are and how to use them properly in your writing.